Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's day is Friday, the 23rd of May 2025. The year BSV comes alive. Branch your threads, expand your mind with treechat.ai. All your posts put on chain. Right, let's have a look, see what we've got today. We've got to talk about this. This is today, 23rd of May, is the 6th anniversary of Ruth Heisman's absolutely epic tweet. So we'll touch on that. There are just some articles that I've seen here on Cointelegraph. We'll see whichever takes my fancy when we get there. Same with CoinGeek. But check this out. We've got our first, it's a TikTok shop that is now selling Satoshi and BSV merchandise by Danny. And we're going to have a quick look at the shop there as well. But we've actually sold our first t-shirt. Our first t-shirt. Just literally a couple of days ago. So well excited about that. We'll have a quick look at the figures, some 365 days of Bitcoin history, and then that'll be the end of the show. Right, let's get into it.
Greg says he's Satoshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1 million strong, and transactions flying free. Just wait for the terror node, you'll surely see.
Alrighty, here we go. Check this out. I couldn't believe it. I love it. Sort of the 365 days of Bitcoin history when things like this reminisce. Check this out. On this date in 2019, Ruth Heisman was having a discussion with all these shitcoiners, and the only argument they've got against BSV is like how they hate CSW pretty much. And so her response was simple. She said, you can overcome your distaste for CSW at $100 BSV, $1,000 BSV, at $10,000 BSV. It's up to you. Because we know that's all they do. They just dollar worship. And that's literally it. And here's the post. Look at this. And they're saying, according to X here, that it's only got 135 likes. I mean, 1,000. Oh, here we go. 1.6k likes. Here we go. But I've literally seen this at multiple thousands, and they constantly keep taking the likes out. So look, I've liked it, I don't know how many times now, probably 100 times like that, and they still take it away. Like literally again and again and again. It's hilarious. But like, what a fantastic, epic day it's been for that. So yeah, give that a like. This was when we were literally peppering Twitter with tulip emojis, obviously because of the Tulip Trust. You know, people have no idea about why it was called the Tulip Trust. We all know, you know, because it was Bitcoin's insurance policy to pop the largest bubble in financial history if the deep state had gone in and literally removed all economic value, which is what they've done. And Ponzi schemes always collapse. It's just simply where the finger of blame is going to lie. The blame game is what we're playing. But yeah, we know what the tulips signify there. But what a fantastic tweet that was. Right, let's get into Cointelegraph. Editors, these are hot stories. So Coinbase breach hits almost 70k users. Greg coin price hits new all-time high. Who cares? Bank lobby is panicking about yield-bearing stablecoins. Really? Texas House passes strategic Greg coin reserve bill. Greg coin hits new all-time high of 109k as trader war tensions. Honestly, who cares? Pictures give a glimpse inside Trump's meme coin holder dinner. Do we really give a shit? Bitcoin bar dominance 111k. Against wave of gains. AI cures blindness. Or which senator invests in crypto? Semiconductor exemptions don't matter when it comes to tariffs. Honestly, the whole is this just a propaganda shit here. Let's see what they're saying here. So bank lobby is panicking about yield-bearing stablecoins. Yeah, because it's usury, which is what they're offering. So citing sources close to the banking lobby, Austin Campbell says financial institutions are spooked by stablecoins that pay interest. So in other words, it's what was the world's biggest Ponzi scheme now being spooked by other Ponzi schemes mimicking their own model, which is what's really going on. So America's powerful banking lobby, there's the banking lobby, is panicking over the potential of stablecoins to disrupt their traditional business model, just like I said. They're a massive Ponzi scheme themselves. particularly when it comes to yield-bearing stablecoins, according to Austin Campbell, a New York University professor and founder of Zero Knowledge Consulting. In a May 21st social media post that begins with "The Empire Lobby's back," Campbell claims that the banking industry is especially alarmed by the potential for stablecoins to offer interest or rewards to holders. In a pointed message aimed at Democratic lawmakers, Campbell wrote that banks want you to protect their cartel so they can keep screwing your voters. That's spot on. He went on to explain how fractional reserve banking enables banks to maximize profits while offering depositors minimal interest. The banking lobby says that if stablecoins pay interest or any other type of monetary reward, banks will be harmed, Campbell added. Yeah, take deposits, pay deposits zero. Make risky loans to commercial real estate billionaires, pay themselves huge bonuses when it goes wrong, shrug and say banking is a risk, keep your huge bonuses and stick the depositors with the losses. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. The whole system is corrupt. This is naked pandering for cartel protection, he said, while urging the opposition party to avoid screwing its voters with supporting any type of blanket ban on stablecoin interest payments. Campbell has long advocated for sensible stablecoin legislation in the United States, warning a congressional subcommittee in April 2023 that failing to enact such a law would punish issuers overseas. The rise of yield-bearing stable. I can't be bothered to read the rest of this shit. It's all going to be about Tether and how they're pumping the market, and just in the same way that fiat currency pumps and dumps the securities markets, the stock market. It's literally exactly the same thing, and the same people behind it. It's the deep state that does it. There is no natural markets out there that exist, none right now. Because everything is literally the entire world's global markets are manipulated by the US dollar because it's the reserve currency, and the crypto market is manipulated by Tether because there's no utility there yet. Notice I say the word yet because we know what's coming. Was there anything else that took my interest here? Honestly, I like the kind of pictures that Cointelegraph use. They're sort of entertaining to look at and arty and all that. That's why they tried to turn them into NFTs at one point. But, the actual knowledge, the fundamental knowledge in here is just rubbish. Utter shite. If they didn't have good pictures, I wouldn't even be looking at them. Honestly. Jury convicts ex-SafeMoon CEO on charges. Yeah, that happened in the past. Another Ponzi scheme. Surprise, surprise. They just want how to handle crypto trading gains and losses on your balance sheet. To them, that's all it is. It's just gains and it's literally just Ponzi scheming. There is no utility there whatsoever. Nothing. And this is what they're desperately trying to hide. From the entire market, from everybody. So Kraken expands in Europe with regulated crypto derivatives. Again, derivatives don't want people touching the actual thing, do they? Can't be having that. Can't be having actually people taking control of their own assets, can they? And now if you want to get in, you got to pay for an ETF share with BlackRock. And BlackRock will buy them for you on your behalf. Honestly, it's shite, absolute shite. Let's see what CoinGeek says here. So they said how Trump's crypto moves derail pro-crypto legislation. Really? There may be trouble on the horizon for the cryptocurrency industry in the United States now that some of the pro-crypto legislation moving through Congress is suddenly under scrutiny, as both Republicans and Democrats begin asking tough questions about conflicts of interest, ethical concerns, and even the possibility of bribery or insider trading concerns the relationship between proposed crypto bills and the presidency of the United States. Bills such as guiding and establishing national innovation for US stablecoins. Oh my goodness me, the Genius Act. Oh dear. It'd be like them spraying the sun with stratospheric aerosol something or other, and the acronym spells Satan. Honestly, just rubbing it in our faces. So anyway, back to the Genius Act, which initially had a bipartisan movement momentum looked primed to pass through the Senate without conflict. However, things began to unravel when lawmakers took a close look at how the bill aligned with recent developments involving President Donald Trump and his family's deepening involvement in the crypto world. Trump's crypto ventures trigger ethics concerns. The real issue that halted the Genius Act's progress wasn't necessarily the bill's content. The real trouble began when lawmakers on both sides of the aisle started expressing concern that the legislation wasn't being advanced strictly on the merits, but rather to benefit those in power, specifically the president and his family's personal crypto ventures. And again, they're probably going to attack Donald Trump here. Heading into the 2024 election, Donald positioned himself as pro-crypto candidate. On the campaign trail, he repeatedly emphasized that he wanted to make the United States the global hub for cryptocurrency innovation. And once he defeated Joe Biden, and was sworn in as the 47th president, he began to act on those promises. Trump signed an executive order promoting cryptocurrency and stablecoin development, and subsequently key federal agencies, including the Securities and Exchange Commission, started signaling a friendlier stance towards crypto companies. All of this was seen as a win for the cryptocurrency industry. Around this time, Trump was venturing deep into the crypto world. I can't be bothered to read the rest of this. We sort of know what's going on here, but it's interesting that they're actually starting to look closely at this, because, I mean, this is what they don't want. They don't want people to look closely at it, because otherwise they will see the scam behind it. But then when they look at the scam, and they'll be like, hold on a minute, what's the difference between stable coins and fiat currency? Hold on a minute. Like, literally, they can't regulate stablecoins without regulating themselves and then shooting themselves in the foot. Like, literally, they don't want people to. I honestly think that they expected this, cryptocurrency and Bitcoin to be gone by now. Whereas now it is so big, and the bubble is so big, they're trying to make it too big to fail. Basically, is what they're trying to do, and they're saying, and they don't really want people to look at it. And anybody who does understand it, well, they're saying, oh, don't look here, don't look here. Don't look at the lawful and legal consequences of a digital signature being removed from a transaction. Don't be looking at that. Really don't be looking at that. And don't be looking at the difference between digital commodities and digital securities. We wouldn't want that, because otherwise you might realize that our fiat currency is securities fraud, and that Bitcoin is a digital commodity and the only way to actually transact and transfer value data across the internet. But don't be looking at the usefulness, because usefulness might trigger demand, and demand might give it a genuine market value, and then people might start buying that and using it and sending value across the world as fast and as efficient as light, instead of sending economically toxic securities fraud that might take a week to get there because it's got to go through the SWIFT system, and fees taken at every single port of call, pretty much. So it'd be interesting. Just get your popcorn ready, folks. That's kind of like what we're really into. Right, let's get into this shop. Danny here. Let's listen to this video. Here we go. Loving this.
So today we're in the Craig Writer's Satoshi t-shirt, available at the Macabre Life TikTok shop. For those of you that haven't looked into Bitcoin, you need to really read the white paper. You all right, David?
Good, mate. How are you?
Good. We onboarded Dave a few weeks ago. So yeah, you need to really understand the white paper. This is truly, in my opinion, a battle of good versus evil. The more you dig into it, you will understand that Craig is Satoshi. He knows more about the protocol than anyone else, and they're trying to take it away from him and enslave humanity, basically. You need to really dig deep, do your own research. All this information is not on base layer. You need to dig deep, and like in COVID and 2020, not the first thing you see is necessarily the right answer. So dig away until you find those answers. But this protocol can change humanity. We can have and control our own currency between ourselves. So the more of us that get on board, the less control that they will have. The currencies, unlike currently, can't be inflated anymore. There's a fixed supply, and it's truly the decentralized digital commodity that the world needs at the moment. So if any of that's a little bit alien to you guys, you really need to do your own research and dig deep. But this is going to affect us all, and for those of you that are on board already, Craig is Satoshi. Show your support. TikTok shop, 22 quid. See you later, guys.
There we go. Check it out. So this is TikTok, and you've got a link to the website here. But the shop is actually the TikTok shop. On there you can see some of the t-shirt designs that he's created, and one of the designs is Satoshi merch, and I think one was sold the other day. Like, we absolutely the first ever bit of Satoshi merchandise by Danny here in his shop. How do you pronounce that? Merkaba Life, which is great. Let's have a look at the website here. Off-grid project with a trust. Nestled deep within the rural mountains of central Portugal exists a place like no other. A place of surreal tranquility and breathtaking beauty. A spiritual safe haven, some would say to the truth seekers out there. The adventure enthusiasts, awakened souls, eco warriors, and the like. Showcased to you from a land seemingly frozen in time, resides here now a group of sovereign souls, revolutionary pioneers, some would say. Others that they just became disenfranchised with the current system and decided to make their own. For more information or to be part of day-to-day life at Merkaba, please click the link below. Check it out. Check it out. Join the revolution in times of universal deceit. Telling the truth becomes a revolutionary act. George Orwell, loving that. Loving that. This looks mint. Definitely gonna have to visit. And this is the shop that I was just looking through there. I haven't seen any Satoshi pieces on there, but they are on the TikTok shop. So I will put a link in the description. So loving that. Absolutely loving that. Chuffed to bits. Chuffed to bits with that. Merkaba Life. There we go. Right, that's 60 minutes already. Let's have a quick look. So we've got Gradecoin, $111,000. B Crash, $437. Fisher Price Cash, who cares? Bitcoin, $39. Yep, top left of the screen. That matches. Transactions just 11.97. Block size though 87.2. Some fairly decent blocks coming through. Look, 32, 28, 20, 89. Is that the biggest one? 81. Yeah, it looks like 89 megabytes. I mean, 89 megabytes compared to Gradecoin. Look, all the blocks just 1 megabyte. 1 megabyte. There's more blocks. There is more data in that one block over in Bitcoin than there is in the entire column of Gradecoin there. It's an effing joke. But, you know, people will wake up to it soon, but they're just blinded by a number go up. It's currently 50,000 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than Gradecoin. Mining Bitcoin at a 41% comparable loss, so shitcoiners won't be mining that, won't be touching it. 5.6% more profitable to mine on Fisher Price Cash. 1.1% more profitable to mine on Bcrash. You know, but much of a muchness on there. Let's have a look at the politics in the pie charts. Here we go. 7 days, 24 hours. Gradecoin hash rate, other miners 7.64. Other miners on Bcrash almost 60%. 60%. And it's still more profitable to mine on Bcrash, even with other miners having 60% of the hash rate. That's hilarious. Fisher Price Cash, who cares? Bitcoin. Let's have a look at the transactions here on what's on chain. 70,000 transactions over the last 24 hours. Mining, we've got Tau 31.6, QD Link 27.3, Cuve 20.5, SA100 14.2, Grillable down at 4.9, and Mining Dutch at 1.24. Let's have a look at Orange Gateway. Look at this. How weird does this pattern look? This is Bitcoin against Gradecoin. Right, look at that. Like, really bizarre on the 1 minute show. Look at this, Bitcoin versus Gradecoin. So again, we've still had that spike when it went up to like $50, just literally the other day, a couple of days ago. Let's have a look at Bitcoin versus Euro. What's going on here? So there's 5 minutes, 5 minute candles, 1 minute candles, ups and downs. Look at that, it's all over the shop. Like I would say, I mean, this has just got manipulation written all over it. Like literally all over it. Let's bring this in. We looked at this just the other day. This was the spike that was caused. Look, boom, up and down, up, down, up, down. Like I'm telling you, it looks like it is trying to break out, but there is some heavy manipulation against it. Some seriously heavy manipulation against it. But get your popcorn ready, folks. Overall market cap, $3.4 trillion of complete fraud. Great coin making up $2.2 trillion of that market cap. But look at the trade volume. It's just 1.76%. It's nothing. It's literally nothing. These shitcoiners, these BTCers have no idea how thin the ice is that they're skating on. This literally means all you need is 1.76% of the market to have a change of mind. And literally, boom, it's gone. It's gone, literally gone. You throw 5%, you literally throw the 24-hour trade volume at the 24-hour trade volume and it wipes the entire market out. That should be up around 5%, but it's not. It's like 1.7. There is literally nothing there. There is nothing supporting that 111,000. Yeah, there's nothing supporting the $2.2 trillion market cap. Literally nothing. Like, people have no idea what they're actually really looking at. Like, I mean, if they knew, they'd shit it. Yeah, but then they're blinded by number go up, and then they've actually got to use their brain to try and figure stuff out. You know, heaven forbid they have to do a bit of thinking. Jeepers. Right, let's have a look at see where is Bitcoin. What? Usually it's around 70, 80. Jasmy's there. Oh goodness, we're down here. Look at that. 87. Market cap just $780 million. Price 39.27. But volume 4.4. That's kind of healthy. Look what that's doing in the week. You know, I'm actually feeling very optimistic about things right now. Very optimistic, especially if you kind of figured out what I figured out recently. Yes, just get your popcorn ready, folks. Like, going to be epic. Some 365 days of Bitcoin history. So obviously we had Ruth Easman's tweet on the 23rd of May 2019. But on the 23rd of May 2017, this is when they had the New York Agreement. And this said here, on the 23rd of May 2017, we agree to immediately support the following parallel upgrades to the Bitcoin protocol, which will be deployed simultaneously and based on the original SegWit, well, that's not original, 2 megabyte proposal. Activate segregated witness at an 80% threshold, signaling at bit 4, and then activate 2 megabyte hard fork within 6 months. Well, that didn't happen, did it? They just simply wanted SegWit, and that's what they got. That was it. And if you want to read more about it, it's all in this article here by Fully Crypto. It's quite a really good article there. Background on it and everything, the agreement, the verdict, blah, 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 blah. You know. What was this? Well, the letter. The SegWit 2x effort began in May with a simple purpose to increase the block size. No, it didn't. And improve Bitcoin scalability. What a load of crap. At the time, it was all about removing the economic value. The Bitcoin community was in crisis after nearly 3 years of heavy debate, just increased the block size. And consensus for SegWit seemed like a distant mirage with only 30% support among miners. SegWit 2x found its first success in August as it broke the deadlock and quickly led to SegWit's successful activation. Since that time, the team shifted its efforts to phase 2 of the project at 2 megabyte block size increase, which didn't happen. But again, I mean, they steamrolled it really, which is exactly what the shitcoiners are now doing now by removing the op return cap. Like literally, and now literally all the shitcoiners that this the shitcoin community that this lot created, they are now going against, which is why there's such a big pushback. But they literally don't care because the shitcoiners with shit for brains haven't figured out that this lot now have complete control of the protocol. Literally, Blockstream own and control Bitcoin Core. Yeah, they're trying to hide that fact, but it's just like they're just pushing it through. Well, hold on a minute. If it's not centrally controlled, how can they just push it through without the consensus of the majority of the shitcoiners? Because they're doing what they want and they have complete control of it, and they're doing it to try and avoid plausible deniability. So that if the market does flip, they're just like, well, they're going to blame all the small blockers. Yeah, we should have done this earlier. It's your fault. That's what they're trying to do. And there we go. Awesome. So that is a 24-minute show. We'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. So as ever, if you enjoy these updates, please ding your donations for your appreciation to either Satoshi at Sentbit.com, Handgas.io, RockWallet.me, Simply.cash, Relays.com, or Senti.ch. We'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. And as ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there. We'll see you in the next one, which might be in a few more days because I'm really busy this week. I will try and keep you updated with my daily updates if I can. But if not, I'll see you next week. So, see you later.
2 years ago, you got SegWit, which we lied and cheated and stealed, and I was part of the lying and cheating and stealing to get SegWit, to get Lightning, which, by the way, had critical vulnerabilities and lost people's money.
The king still has one more move.